যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে।
The Dentistry Journey podcast is the podcast that maps a dentist's journey, transitions, and resilience. Today's episode presents a beautiful dentist who is a prime example of East meets West. She married a cardiologist consultant from Britain, hailing from India, and has made this wonderful island her home. Today's episode is an amalgamation of colors, art, and culture. So stay braced. Hello to our wonderful listeners and welcome to another episode of the Dentistry Journey podcast brought to you by ITA UK. My name is Noori Khan and I'm your host today. In today's episode, we will be celebrating dentistry, life and friendship. We hope to do this by interviewing personalities which will encourage, motivate, and inspire. My today's guest of honor is also one of my oldest college friends. She has a very engaging personality, multidimensional, classic, and elegant. I am sure there is a lot of wisdom we can extract from today's episode. Without further ado, please welcome Dr. Amrita Banerjee. Amrita completed her bachelor's in dental surgery from the YMT Dental College, Mumbai in the year 2006. She then worked as a dental registrar in the Hinduja Hospital, where she gained vast experience in the Department of Oral Surgery and Periodontics. She moved to the UK in the year 2010 and has since then done her VTE from the Kent, Surrey and Sussex Deanery. After completing her MFDS from the Royal College of Surgeons and Physicians from Glasgow, Amrita has now completed a year-long postgraduate diploma in restorative dentistry. At Colosseum Dental, Amrita is working as a regional dentist, training, mentoring and monitoring dentists across London and south of England alongside the clinical director. She also works as a general dentist in a practice in North London. Outside dentistry, Amrita is a trained classical dancer performing nationally and internationally. She's also a trained classical singer and also an amateur chef who loves to explore different cuisines from all over the world. Personally, Amrita is a great friend and we have done our bachelor's in dental surgery from the same college in Mumbai. For me, she is my Amchi Muluki from Mumbai. So looking forward to today's conversation with Amrita. So Amrita, welcome to the hot seat today. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, Noori. Thank you so much for having me here.
I've been looking forward for this for a very long time now.
Me too, absolutely.
So I'm going to start this podcast with the very cliched question. But every journey has a beginning. So I want to start with the most important why. Why did you choose dentistry, Amrita? And did you have a eureka moment?
I think my family, there are lots of doctors in the family, especially my grandfather is the person who really inspired me. He was a general surgeon in his time and he had a nursing home of his own. When I used to go there, it really used to inspire me when he used to do those surgeries, although I didn't see them, but then he spoke to me about them and I saw his books. So very young age, I started reading those books and going through those books with him. And my uncle is a dental surgeon. So somehow I started getting interested in surgery. Okay. And then I decided that I have to do something with a medical career.
Okay.
As time went on, I chose dentistry, but my main interest was maxillofacial surgery, which I ended up doing afterwards in Mumbai.
There's a lineage over there of why you chose dentistry. So give us a bit more flavor about your childhood experiences And of course, we have to talk about our good old college days since we come from the same college. So, would you like to share some interesting and unique experiences as a dental student back in Mumbai?
Absolutely, Nuri. As you know, obviously, we should tell the viewers that we both are from the same college.
Yeah.
So, and we were at the same time. You were just the batch, the next batch after
Next.
us. Which is, yeah, I think when you talk about college life or university, it's always very thrilling, I think. Because yesterday my daughter was asking, do you remember or do you miss your university? And I said, yes, everybody does. So our days in Mumbai were brilliant because I think, Nuri, we always thought that Mumbai is probably, like many people, absolute best city. With our different cultural experiences, all the cultural programs and all different activities which we had in the college was, I think, absolutely unique. And I don't think you get those back again in life. The university days are the best.
They are the best, and you have the best time, the best friends, and
absolutely.
Life just changes a lot after that. And, it's sort of a preparation as well. And
totally.
I think we had a very good one back in Mumbai.
The foundation was so strong that I think we could go on and embrace a totally new world and life.
Absolutely. It prepared us for life, the train journeys in the local train in Mumbai.
Oh, wow. And do you remember when it used to rain, we would literally actually stand near at the door, which obviously never shut there in Mumbai. So we just stood there and we got wet. And especially the journey was always 2 hours plus for all of us.
2 hours plus every single day, 5 days or sometimes 6 days a week.
Sometimes 6 days a week, yeah.
And I remember waddling through the flood in Mumbai as well.
Oh my God.
Coming back from college that day, oh my God.
You remember we used to have spare clothes in the locker because you never knew what condition you'll reach college in. And also those were the moments where we all sort of held hands and walked to the 15-minute walk.
We used to wait for all of us to gather and then walk together, and we never had a platform.
Yeah, you remember? Oh my God. And we used to see the train right in front of us where we just saw it and we thought, oh God, we have to be careful when to cross it. God. Wasn't it?
I mean, now if you think about it, we're all going to think health and safety and probably not allow our daughters to do that.
Oh no, never. Oh my God, I wouldn't even, probably obviously she'll watch this podcast later. I think even your daughter will watch it and they will see it, but then that we have done it. But I think I would not like to discuss about it with them.
It's just how our viewpoint has changed so much. At that point, it was just something we did, not thinking twice. But yeah, that's the journey of life, I guess.
Absolutely, Nuri, absolutely right. So now when I think back and I think, how did we just even do it? Even our journey, which was 2 hours, I think, one way. So like 4 hours of journey every day, we never thought it is a problem. We just did it.
We enjoyed it so much.
But also, I think, Nuri, that was the time we bonded the most, I think.
And one of the things was, I remember we used to carry in the first year, the skeleton with us in the local train.
On the train, carry skeleton. And later on, you remember our pre-clinicals doing the acrylics and everything.
Very nice old days.
I think absolutely brilliant. That's what prepared us, I think, for life.
I know the reason you came to UK has something to do with the very charismatic Mr. Banerjee. And there's a very interesting story there, Amrita. Would you like to share that with the audience?
Definitely, I will. So what happened is, I'll keep it short because probably it could be quite long, but I'll just make it short. My now husband, he's a cardiologist. So he went for a cardiology conference to Hyderabad, but his aunt lives in Mumbai. So he went to visit them. And my mom and dad organized this Durga Puja, which is during Navratri festival. So, and people used to come there. So that's where my now husband, Raj, and his aunt and the whole family came to the puja. And that's where I just met him for the first time. We spent 3-4 hours. Probably I just pretty much ignored all my other friends, which I didn't realize then that there was something going on. He asked me out. We met twice. And the funny bit was then he had to go back to his conference in Hyderabad. But the funny bit was because he was going to go back from there to UK, but then he called me from Hyderabad saying, I'm coming back to Mumbai. And where I thought whether I misheard his plan or what was the thing. He didn't tell me clearly. He came back, we met for dinner, we spent time together, and he went back to UK. So a very good friendship by then, in like our 3 meetings and lots of phone calls in those few days. But then we caught each other on GChat. It was GChat. That's how primitive I feel now, Nuri, because there was no WhatsApp. We caught each other on Gmail or GChat or Google Chat, you call it. And then we just found chatting with each other, and it grew and grew. It became like 6-7 hours a day. I used to reach hospital totally sleepy. And then after that, he came back in 3 months' time and proposed to me. He popped the question on Christmas Day. And I said yes without thinking. But
Oh, wow.
And then after that, I realized that I have to now move to UK. So that's the journey of moving to the UK.
So were you prepared for that move, or did you just take it in your stride?
I think I took it on my stride. I was not prepared because I don't think I got a hint, because we just knew each other for 3 months. So I never thought the question would come up so soon. We were just on a beach in Bandstand, and he just went down on his knees and popped the question.
Wow.
And I said yes. But after I said yes, I didn't really realize anything. When I went home, I told my parents, they were all happy. But then we sat down and I said, oh, now I have to do something about it because I have to move. I have to move to UK. It's not moving somewhere else in India. And I think I never thought about it. I don't think I was planned at that time.
Okay.
I think it was my fate. I very much say it was destiny. Yeah.
Destiny.
Yeah.
So once you got here, it's not that it was a bed of roses. I'm sure, like the rest of us.
No.
The
Yeah.
ORE, the VTE, it was challenging.
It was very challenging.
You faced them. And so do you want to share some of those experiences, and how did you overcome, and what kept you motivated?
I think I will share it, definitely, Nuri, because I think we all have gone through it. Many of us have gone through it. But, when I started researching about it, and I thought, okay, now I have to move. So the first thing is start studying, which was not the tough bit, I think, for all of us, because we were used to studying. But the main thing was when I came here and I realized that booking the exam is not so easy. So I'll start from the booking and probably talk a little bit about each step and the hurdle. Rather, it was really a big hurdle, I think. So what happened is when I sat down to actually book my exam, I realized it depends on the internet speed, because I kept missing to book the exam, because somehow they gave us 1 minute and I couldn't book my exam a few times. I was a little bit upset, thinking that I never thought booking an exam would be such a big, problem. So me and my husband sat together on different laptops, and that's the day probably finally we checked internet speed and everything, and I managed to book the exam. And that was the happiest moment, because I thought at least I can sit the exam. I sat the first part. Luckily, with God's grace, I passed it beautifully. Then what happened? I was started preparing for the second part, but the exams just stopped. Because for a year, the exam just stopped. They wanted to change the exam, which there was no information about. So I just kept waiting, not losing hope. And then we finally had the part 2, which was finished, done, very good. It was like step after step. And then I thought, wow, so I've registered with the GDC now, so it is brilliant. Things are fine. But then started the journey of VT, which was even more of a struggle. Because at that time, Nuri, I'll share this because I remember I was in Birmingham. I got a VT position and I started. I was very happy. And then down the line, I got pregnant. I had a baby. But somehow during that period, I didn't get a lot of support from the practice and the deanery, which is a bit sad, I think. So unfortunately, because of lack of support, I had to leave the VT halfway. And
that must have been a difficult time to leave halfway.
That was a difficult time because that was pretty much during my late stages of pregnancy as well. So I left it thinking I got experience. So it was good. I gained something from it, and I just stayed positive, because in general, Nuri, I'm kind of a person who always looks the positive things in everything. So I looked the positive bit and I thought I got some experience, and maybe it's for good that I can give some time to my daughter when she'll be born. so
Yeah.
that, and then I'll take a break rather than, rushing into a job, which I did, which I'm glad I did today, sitting here, I can say. But then we moved to London, and my struggle of VTE started again. So I started to look for VTE. Everybody said, you're not going to get a VTE anywhere in London. You have to go either to Wales or Scotland. So you have to leave your family in London and you can go and live for a year and do it. And I told myself, I'm not going to do that. So I said, I'm going to get a job somewhere where I can commute and I can come back and see my daughter's face at the end of the day. So finally, I got a position in Eastbourne, which is 3 hours away from here,
Crazy.
one way. I took it on. I asked my husband, I'm going to take this on. But I think you'll have to do quite a lot of childcare. So he said, fine, we'll do it. Go for it. So I took it on and I went on with it. 6 hours of journey every day. But at the end of the day, I was happy because I came back home and saw my daughter's face and said goodnight to her, who just kept waiting till like 9:30 just to see my face. And finally, for a year, I finished that.
Oh,
So
wow.
pretty much 6 days, 5.5 days or something.
That sounds very difficult to me, and only a mother could have done that. But having said that, being a new mother, it wouldn't have been easy at all. So
It was very
hats off.
tough. Oh, thank you. But I think, Nuri, that was a very big challenge, I think. Get the VT position. So I had to sign a contract, which also was for 3 years. So I couldn't then relocate to London very soon. From there, I moved stepwise and I moved to Essex. I had a beautiful experience working in Essex, but my commute was 4 hours still. From 6, I came down to 4 a day. Again, 6 days a week. So I was doing either train or driving, but then both of it was very tough, I think, when I think back now. And slowly from there, I moved to South London, West London, and now finally to North London. That's where I'm based. So
You did overcome a lot of challenges. So I know one of the thing is probably your daughter, your husband's support that kept you motivated for sure. Is there anything else that motivates you?
I would say definitely,
Yeah.
my husband's support. My daughter is absolutely a brilliant girl who always supported her mother, and I would say my mother. So even at times when I used to be, obviously she's 6,000 miles away from me. She lives in Mumbai. But whenever I felt very low, I would just call her. She's till date, I would say, my best friend, really. So I would just call her and talk to her. And she is a person whom I've never, ever seen negative. So she, throughout my life, motivated me. And also, she's the one who taught me meditation at a very young age. So I think the meditation taught by my mom and constant motivation throughout my VTE period by my mom to stay positive, and her words that you will do it.
Shows the importance of having family relations, and those they stand the test of time.
So important. Yeah.
And during our journey, we need to nurture those in
Absolutely.
whatever way we can, because that is what keeps us moving forward.
So important, Nuri, because when I see that relationship I had with my mother, because we have got girls, and I feel, that's what I need to build with my daughter. So
they are role models for us. Sometimes
absolutely.
I feel if we become half of them.
Absolutely true. So you're constantly trying to be as them, that is basically trying. Even if we become half, I mean, we would feel, I think, that we have achieved something.